Hello everyone, this is the Subway. This time we will be meeting our new long-range weapon, the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is a little unimpressive right now, only having one shot before it needs to reload and only having 10 ammunition total. But as we upgrade it, that will change, and it will get 3 shots before it needs to reload, and will have, well, a lot more ammunition. It deals quite a large amount of damage, and is more effective at long range than the shotgun, but the shotgun's still better at this point because we did just purchase the grenade launcher. But it has its uses. I think something that may have made this game a little harder to get into for some people is the fact that it is a little difficult to cope with all the weapons being so, what's the word? Yeah, weak. The weapons being so weak to start out with. Like, you might expect if you get the grenade launcher for it to immediately be the best thing ever, and sure, it deals a reasonable amount of damage, but if you already have a shotgun that you've upgraded a couple of times, it's only going to be on par with the shotgun. It's not going to blow it out of the water. Later in the game, when we fully upgrade the grenade launcher, which will happen, it's going to eclipse the shotgun entirely. Did you see that sweep shot? Did you see how cool that was? Anyway, the grenade launcher later will totally eclipse the shotgun in terms of use, as it takes the shotgun's position of dealing high amounts of damage, but also is useful at long range and has a very, very good reticle, so you know reasonably where your shot's going to hit, and how far it can drop over a distance. Eventually, at the end of the game, I get so good at aiming the grenade launcher that for normal combat, I really don't want to use anything else at all. The grenade launcher also is meant to deal splash damage, but the splash damage it deals right now is incredibly minimal. That also gets upgraded as we upgrade the gun. I mean, you're already seeing the grenade launcher clearly has its uses. After all, how could I do a sweet shot like I did back there with the shotgun? You can't shoot at the wall with the shotgun and have the bullets bounce off and into a man's face. That's not how shotguns work. So enough about the grenade launcher for now, and more about this stage. This stage of the subway very cleanly split into upper and lower sections, and waiting by the stairs to shoot guys as they run downstairs, one of my favorite pastimes on this level. This gunslinger challenge, really simple, just shoot a certain number of enemies within the time limit. You're already doing that anyway. This challenge basically just means, hey, keep playing the game like you were before. And, you know, sure, whatever, I can do that, no problem. You know, it's a third-person shooter. That's what I'm here for, is to shoot things. So you may have noticed we have less lives up in the upper right than we do normally when we start a stage. That's because I have upped the difficulty of the game. That's also why we're dying faster, is because I've turned up the difficulty. This also means that the healing beacon will be healing us less quickly. So the healing beacon is no longer as overpowered as it was on the default difficulty mode. You know, I was just talking about how easy this challenge was, but I think we're gonna lose it if I don't kill this chick in time. Anyway, I guess kill her twice is how that works. Anyway, the higher difficulties do mean the enemies get more health, and you get less of it, because, well, the game's progression is based on upgrades you buy, of course. The payoff is that when you play on a higher difficulty, you get more money, and you get more of your progression meter toward the end of the game. So, I haven't mentioned it yet, but this game does have a strange kind of progression. Probably because it's multiplayer and they wanted to encourage that people play the stages a whole lot. So every time you complete a stage, a bar fills up a little. It fills up more if you're playing a more difficult difficulty, but each time you complete a stage, a bar fills up a little, and when the bar reaches the top, you unlock the final area with the final boss battle. And that's how the game works. So you can't just play each stage one time. That's not how it goes. And I'm sure that would irritate some people, but this game is meant to be played over and over and over. It is wave-based. It is an arena shooter. It was multiplayer focused. You're not supposed to just play the stages once each and then call it done. And if I did just play the stages once each, I would not have appreciated the stages or game design nearly as much. Would not have grown so intimate with the game. Probably would have made for a worse Let's Play. So yeah, I really like the stairs in this level. Stairs are a defining feature of this level for me, and the stairs with the arc of the grenade launcher in particular, really satisfying. I still have no idea why the female enemies take more damage before they fall over, or why they're faster, or can dodge roll 20 feet across the room. But I'm sure there's a reason for that. So usually there's like some kind of attempt to parody modern advertisement when you put advertisements in subway areas in video games. Like even Kick-Ass 2 did that. They had like Gears of War parodies and such in the subway advertisements on the billboards, but most of these billboards just seem like actual things that would be advertised in real life. I mean, there's a couple... Oh, okay, I did kill that man. I thought he just disappeared. Like, there's a couple things with vaguely weird or satirical wording, but for the most part, these billboards and advertisements in this subway, they're reasonably realistic, even if the products they are advertising are fictional. I wish I had more to say about this level in particular, but aside from the stairs, which I want to point out again are great. I love the stairs so much, in case you can't tell. There's not much to this place aside from the stairs. Something that didn't occur to me until just now is that I think some other arena shooters or games in general might try to incorporate the actual subways into the level design. Firstly, I don't get the impression that R.I.P.D had the budget for such a thing, but I think even if they did, they wouldn't have done it. Because I don't see that really working with the rest of the game design. There's not a lot of moving pieces in any of the arenas in R.I.P.D. It's mostly all about placement. It's all about the level geometry. It's about the placement of you and the placement of enemies. The fact that there are moving subways, sure, it occasionally blocks your view, but they're not like an impressive or important gimmick by any means. They're just there to remind you, hey, you know, these exist, I guess. I think being able to lure the enemies into traps where they will get killed themselves also kind of defeats the purpose of R.I.P.D's game design, where every kill has to come from you and your partner. There's no other way for the enemies to die. Like, they don't get hurt by their own grenades or any such thing. If a deado falls over, it's because you killed it. No other reason. And I think that's fair. Clearly what they were going for.
Got him. Now execute him, or stay close and hold off the deados while we arrest him.